We did it. Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. In the middle of the game, when it was about to end, I was, because I'm a content creator, this is my job. I was already planning in my head what was I gonna name, because I always think about a name that a lot of people think about. And a lot of people were thinking and saying was, I was gonna write purple patch over ? All right, I don't have to do that. Fuck, man. I'm a bit embarrassing myself, especially because the last game was that Chelsea game, and just how we performed overall in this game, I didn't believe. Especially Spurs, they were defending so well. But a banger from Kangi Lee and a golazo from Gonçalo Ramos takes us to penalties, and Chevalier goes from 0 to hero. My lookalike, Lucas Chevalier, man. What an announcement. Making a mistake and then Chevalier. Well, let's start talking about the game. Let's start talking about this game, man. This game. Well, what a game it was. One of the most chaotic, big UEFA Super Cup Finals I've ever watched. 26% possession for Spurs, 74% for Paris Saint Germain. The plan was clear from Spurs. Just play like you played in the Europa League final versus United, and it went really well. Both of their goals came from set pieces, and it looked like they were going to take the win. PSG 74%, and you can see in the first half, not a single shot on target was Spurs. Were 1-0 up with 3 shots on target. And how the game went, it was just, in the first half, it was just no energy. It could have been partially arrogance, maybe, we're going to beat Spurs. It was also, Spurs have had the preseason. They played 6 games going into this game. We haven't played a single one. Maybe those are the reasons. But I felt throughout the entire game that Spurs wanted this more than Paris Saint Germain. They wanted to win this game more than us. And that hurt. I felt the same in the Club World Cup final versus Chelsea. Chelsea wanted it more than us. And I was disgusted. I was like, how do we not want this? Yes, this is not Champions League final or something. But we got to take care of business, baby. We're there for the sextuple. The sextuple, baby. And the dream is still alive thanks to this day. But lackluster, not good enough. And Spurs, man, what a terroristic side. Look, fair play to Spurs. They played defensively really well. But offensively, their plan to create chances. Usually teams that sit back, they're looking at counters and so on. But they were doing throw-ins, long throw-ins, like Partey versus us last year in the semi-final. Vicario was going all the way up when they had the set piece on the halfway line. I thought I switched to the NFL channel. I had to update is this actually football I'm watching? And they get the goal. Marquinhos. Thank God we signed Zabarny. Man. Thank God. Marquinhos, absolutely embarrassing for that first goal. Chevalier makes a good save. And Van de Ven is there. Basically nothing more happens. We go into the second half. I'm 1-0 lackluster performance, but if we just up the performance, I've seen many times from this team going into the second half, we up the performance and bop, Paris Saint Germain or Paris Saint Germain and start playing like Paris Saint Germain. That didn't happen. Spurs have a set piece and it's 2-0. Chevalier making a horrendous mistake. When I saw that goal, man, it felt so much worse because all I've been hearing the past weeks and is Donna. Everyone talking Donna. What's going on with Donna? Why are you letting go of Donna? Are you sure Chevalier? Donna was so crucial for you guys in the UCL last season. Now you're getting Chevalier in. Is that really going to work? Chevalier makes that mistake and it's 2-0. And after that goal, I was embarrassed by this team. There was no organization. It looked like, previous PSGs, when we start bottling a lead. There's no plan. No one takes responsibility. Just look completely lackluster. We started spamming crosses. The team was left out of ideas. It was completely dead. And shout out to the substitutes, Kangi Lee and Gonçalo Ramos. They put some fire into this game. Kangi Lee came on. I saw him running off the second balls, winning duels. That's exactly what was missing from Desiree Doué and Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. I didn't see the aggressiveness today. I didn't see the energy. I remember the game versus Liverpool. That's probably the game where we played with our most energy level. And look how we absolutely cooked and destroyed them. But in this game, he was just lackluster. The energy wasn't there. I don't know how much the players wanted it. Kangi Lee. Vitinha, great layoff to Kangi Lee. And Kangi Lee, beautiful goal. And after that, I was like, all right, I got hope. I got faith in this team. We can do this. Tempos, basically a power cross. Gonçalo Ramos heads it in. And Paris Saint Germain take it to extra time. Penalty shootout. Second one this calendar year. We witnessed the Liverpool one, and now this one versus Spurs. Vitinha misses with his tactic. His lost pen, he missed as well. Versus Arsenal, same tactic. Puts it outside. But I was calm. And I knew this was a point for Chevalier to go from 0 to hero. And that's exactly what Chevalier did. Yes, Chevalier only saved 1 out of the 4 penalties or 5 penalties that he got against him. But, I mean, he was going after them all the time. And I've taken penalty shootouts. It's a horrible feeling, the pressure that you feel. And when you see the goalkeeper on your teammates' penalties go right every single time, the first penalty, Solanke, Chevalier nearly saves it, Bentancur goes the same way. It's obvious. Then he saves the Van der Ven one. And then when you look at the Matisse Tell one, he's always looking at Chevalier because he knows that Chevalier, if he goes the right direction, there's a huge chance he can save it. So he wants to fake Chevalier. He fakes Chevalier, doesn't look at the goal and misses it. And after that, yeah, it was basically over. Nuno Mendes, great penalty. Gonçalo Ramos, great penalty. Ousmane Dembele, great penalty. And Kangin, great penalty. And Paris Saint Germain are UEFA Super Cup winners. And as I said, the sextuple dream is still alive. It's still alive. We have the Intercontinental Club World Cup in December. One more game, and we are sextuple, man. Sextuple. And let's talk a bit about the players. Let's start with Spurs. Because as I said, Spurs, I felt, they played goodish this game. Vicario, horrendous on the ball. Like, really bad. I don't understand how he was the goalkeeper of Ange Postecoglou. Like, he's so bad with the ball. Gave away the ball so many times. Romero, Van de Ven got the goals. When the centre-back score, you just know this is a dirty team. Play like a relegation battling team. This is a team that has probably spent more than us this transfer window, but are playing like this. Van de Ven, Romero, I mean, both of them were good. Danso, good as well. Pedro Porro, Jed Spence. I thought Jed Spence was really good this game. The job he did on Hakimi and Doué or Kvara, whoever was there, was a really good job. Palhinha, I mean, he was good like defensively, but as you can see, he never basically touched the ball. And that goes obviously for the Spurs team. Bentancur, I felt he was good this game. Papesar as well. Kudos, he was cheeky. Richarlison as well. So, like, majority of the Spurs team, I didn't feel like they were bad this game. It was just, and if we look at the goals, both goals Vicario conceded, I mean, you can't blame that on him. So, Spurs, there isn't that much negative around them. I think if you're a Spurs fan, the main thing you should go at is not tactics, it's not Thomas Frank, it's the mentality. How can you be 2-0 up? And that's the thing. Spurs players showed fear to PSG early on. When you score the second in the 50th minute, you're supposed to try to keep the ball and drag the game on. But they started sitting back, diving, wasting time. I knew this team was scared. So the biggest negative thing with this team was the mentality. They just didn't know how to. They had more mentality than United in the Europa League final. But thankfully not more than Paris Saint Germain. Barcola injured. I didn't know that. Paris Saint Germain, Chevalier obviously makes a mistake, but then becomes the hero towards the end. Made a good save for the Van de Ven goal as well. Hakimi, poor game. Not poor game, but below his level. I know Ashraf Hakimi's level. I know his standard. Again, for a lot of the team, you can use the valuable excuses like we haven't had preseason games and so on, but we got to be honest, just not good enough. Marquis, I mean, I just don't want him as a starter in big games. It's not even about the overall performance. It's just about, I'm always like, oh, he could make a mistake. And I'm seeing Richarlison being quicker. He's just athletically cooked. Pacho, it's decent. Nuno Mendes, yeah, he was good. He was good. Warren, I said new season, new Warren, Zaire Emery. It's a new season. And it's the same Warren, Zaire Emery. Vitinha, good assist. Took more responsibility towards the end of the game and so on. Missed, obviously, his penalty. Cheeky. Doué, terrible performance. Terrible. I lost the most. I thought this was the game for Doué. They asked me before the game if you had to pick one PSG player. I picked Doué. I thought him in this new attack and everything. But obviously Spurs, they suffocated the middle, the central areas, and even Spurs just played a terroristic football. Like, I don't take away that much tactics and like the first 4-man attack and how is PSG in his second season playing. Spurs just didn't want to play football. So I'm not going to take any tactical takeaways that much from this game. Khvicha, poor game as well. I mean, Not good enough, not good enough. Barcola, I enjoyed the runs that he was making. He was running with energy as well. He was part of that first chance that we created. Decent from Barcola and Ousmane Dembele. People ask me about MVP. I mean, if we want to give it to Dembouz, we can give it to Dembouz. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm really happy about this trophy, and I don't think any play that like stood out. But Dembouz, if we have to pick one that stood out, it has to be Dembouz. I mean, they were suffocating this area right here. This is where Dembouz likes to operate as a false nine. Dembouz basically was in a double pivot with Vitinha all the time, and he was putting some caviar passes and got the deserved assist there towards the end. And obviously, the UEFA Super Cup is counted for this season, the 2025-2026 season. So Ousmane Dembele already has 1 GA this season. Beautiful to see. And then going over the bench, Fabian Ruiz came on. Cheeky, nothing special. And Baye tried his best with his trickery and his pace. Still far away from that level. Kangili, beautiful goal. And apart from that, just took responsibility when he came into the game. Gonçalo Ramos, beautiful goal. Also saw some, he really wanted to come into the game and change the game. Spurs subs, I mean, just garbage. Complete fucking garbage, man. And Spurs, I mean, this is embarrassing. I tweeted, this is exactly what Chiellini said. This is the history of Tottenham Hottspurs. How can you be 2-0 up and bottle it just like this? Embarrassing. But also what that shows is Tottenham, footballistically, we're not the deserving winners of this game because relying on set pieces and this is not football. Get this stuff out of the beautiful sport. That's been it from boy PSG. Make sure to tune in for the post-match podcast, and as usual, allez, allez, allez Paris.